Something always baffles me about the society we are living in, right? This society we are living in, yeah, science, right, and religion, they both contradict themselves. They contradict themselves. For instance, science tells us that man, right, we came from monkeys, like we evolved from monkeys. That's how man came to be. From monkeys, then to men. Whatever. But religion contradicts it, right? Religion says, what does religion say? Religion says man was made from whatever clay and whatever you know, whatever uh, clay and stuff, stuff. So what I'm trying to bring out is that both of them contradict themselves. Religion contradicts science, right? Science contradicts religion. So they both don't trust themselves. 'Cause- and still yet, you know, majority, the society still believe both of them. Still yet, both of them are legally accepted by the public, even though they both contradict each other, and people don't even see a red flag in that. You don't see that you've been taught this same science that says this, but religion says the other thing, and religion says this and science says the other thing, and you have been taught these two things in school. You've been just taught these two things that doesn't trust each other, these two red flags that see themselves as red flags, and yet people trust both of them so much so that they believe everything. You know, so that little red flag between science and religion is enough for you to not even believe none of them. It's enough for you to say, okay, no, you see, nobody knows. Yeah, nobody knows how it came to be. Nobody really knows how humans came to be. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, nobody knows. Nobody was there when we were created. Nobody was there. We all were created at once. Everything happened at once. How did you know? You don't know. Nobody knows. We don't know. We can only estimate. We don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. So this whole this whole belief that we came from something, and we came from the other thing, it's all a lie, because nobody really knows how we came to be. And if you are trying to be literal, everything, came to be. The monkeys came to be. The pigs came to be. Humans came to be. Humans is humans, we are humans. The pigs are pigs. Monkeys are monkeys. Cockroaches are cockroaches. Cows are cows. Lions are lions. Cats are cats. Dogs are dogs. We should stop comparing ourselves to all these animals. Birds are birds. Humans are humans. Humans are unique. We are upright. Yes, we are upright. We start upright for you. I will walk upright. That's human for you. We don't need to bend. You don't bend. We don't. You don't jump. We don't crawl. We already passed calling. We passed when we were baby. That's when we do all that. you know. So humans, we stand upright, right? We are a different species entirely. Different species entirely. Different species. You know. Oh, other animals can see in the dark. Humans can see in the dark. We created night vision. We can see in the dark too. So what? So humans, we are like different species entirely. Different. We are in our own league. We didn't come from monkey. We didn't evolve from monkey. We didn't evolve from pigs. No, none of that. All this were just a reference. When you say a black person, most monkeys are black. You don't see white, monkeys. Most monkeys looks black. So that's why they just make it like, oh, the reference, oh, the monkey. And most pigs look pale. And you know the color white is kind of like pale color. So that's why they're like, oh, okay, they're pigs, they're monkeys, you know. So it's kind of like a reference, but it's not really the main thing. You know, it's just a reference. It's not really the main thing. So you shouldn't take it personal when someone call you a monkey or when someone call you a pig. You just know that this person, the person that is calling you that, is either dumb or is just trying to get under your skin. You know, it's as simple as that. It's either dumb or because you know that monkeys are monkeys, pigs are pigs, humans are humans. You know, So we're all different species. You know, you're all different species. We're all different species. Oh my god. Science is funny. Telling us that we evolved from monkeys, we evolved humans, we evolved. Come on, come on. you know, that's a big lie. And it's a lie because of that contradiction. You know, it's a big red flag. A very big one that is actually at play, right? It's at play, but people don't really see it as a red flag. But it's a red flag because that I'll say it again, I must stress it again, I must say it again until it gets it in your skull, you know, it's a truth bomb as you call it. No, I must say it again. You know when you've been taught science in school and you've been taught religion in school, both are legit, you know, both are legal, but both contradict each other, both don't agree with each other, and still you as a public accept both of them, you as a public trust both of them even though they don't agree with each other, but still they, you know, they somehow, you know, they somehow, you know, accepted by the public, both as accepted by the public. It's funny, right? It's funny how the public accept both science and religion, yet both the two both of them contradict each other, both of them, you know, both of them don't agree with each other, you know. So both of them don't really know. So what they're trying to tell you is that science is trying to tell you that, hey, we don't really know. Religion is trying to tell you that, hey, we don't really know. So both of you don't know. None of us know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. We don't know nothing. We all don't know nothing. Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows anything. Nobody really knows anything. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. You know, nobody knows. So nobody really knows anything. Nobody really knows. Nobody really Pinocchio anything. Nobody Pinocchio anything. Nobody knows. Nobody knows, right? Nobody really knows. But we can estimate. You know, because we're smart animals. We can, you know, we can estimate, even though we don't know. You know. So, humans, right? Humans. I mean, what are we? I mean, someone named us human, right? Let's be honest. Someone named us human. It's not that God came down and said, I'm gonna call you humans. No, someone named us humans, right? Someone named this place that we are Earth, right? I'm sure though the Earth is not even the real name of the place that we are. But it's Earth, that's the name that we come to know it as the identity. Nobody knows it. Nobody knows what we are anyway. Nobody knows what we are. So everything is just a use for identity. Nobody knows what the sun is. Nobody knows what the moon is. Nobody knows anything about these things. We just name it. But nobody knows the real name. Nobody knows nothing. you know, everything in the earth at this was genuinely nameless until we created name, until we created language for, like, you know, identification purposes, and then we started naming everything to help us to be able to identify, pinpoint. you know, to help us do things. That was why we created all these things, you know, to be able to know, to be able to know, you know, to be able to like know what we're talking about, you know. That's why we created languages in the first place, and stuff. To be able to understand each other, you know. So nobody really knows the name of where we are. Nobody really knows what's up. And there's this thing I want to say, right? A lot of people used to say this. Right? They used to say the jungle, the jungle, the jungle. A lot of people don't know that we are actually living in the jungle. I mean, you might be in the city right now, and there will be no sign of jungle in your city, but trust me, you are in the jungle. You just don't know because of the jungle is being suppressed by the city. Yeah, the jungle is what is being suppressed by the city. 100%. There is life underneath us right now. There are trees just looking to pop out if they are given the chance. You know, I'm telling you, like we underestimate our own mass, humans, because we have masses. You know, like when tens and twenty and hundreds and thousands of people are walking and cars are climbing a particular area for a very long time, that place can become bowed. you know, but when you leave a particular area untouched for a very long time, like you just leave it untouched, you don't touch it for years, then you start seeing uh weeds, start seeing bushes coming out from underground, out of the cracks. Literally, how do you think something just grow from a crack? You know, when a leaf as thin as it is can crack something open and grow. Like as thin as a leaf is can crack something open and grow. You know how crazy that is. You can just create a crack in the water in the concrete and find a space to go. It just shows you how much life we have under, you know. It just shows you so if people and things they are not like motion or any activities around in a particular place for a very long time, you start seeing, the the bushes, you start seeing the wood coming out, you start seeing you can you know, before you know, you start seeing the jungle, the jungle underneath, the jungle that you're in, but you can't really see because of the city, because of everywhere is been taken care of, because of the masses of because of activities. So because of this, you are suppressing the jungle. We are in the jungle. You don't even need to go out there in the woods to be in the jungle. You are in the jungle. This is the jungle. you know this is the jungle. Yeah, you have the jungle like all surrounded, like your doors, probably your doors are wooden, you know and wood is made out of what? Is made out of what? Trees. So you got trees in your home. 100%, literal. You don't even need to like go outside to see trees. You have trees in your home. Your door is a wooden door. Maybe your house is a wooden house. You've got trees all over you. You've got nature. You've got jungle all over you. You know, and there are rocks in jungles. There are marbles in jungle, granites, and most of your floors and your walls are made with marbles and granites. So jungle, you're surrounded by jungle. Your bed is wooden or whatever. It's surrounded by what is everything that was created. Was created. Was filmed out from the jungle to make the jungle better. Ions and everything was created. How did we create iron? You can burn rocks by just melting rocks. Melting hard rocks, you can create iron. 100%. They just took the light, man. Fuck. They just took the light. So by melting hard drugs, right? By melting hard drugs, you can create iron through the remnant of the rocks. When you're melting hard rock, it's you start sweating, you start seeing the water kind of like oily water. That water is what is what melt into iron. Then the water comes together and turns to iron and forms to iron. So literally you can even use rock
to create ions, metal. So metals is not something that natural. Metal is not a natural stuff. Metal wasn't natural. If you dig the floor, you can't. It's not something that you can see. Metal was created by what humans. We humans we created metal. The metal you see wasn't, and there's no place that you see a natural metal. No. you know it's rocks. It's rocks, and it's this with these rocks is what we used to form metals. By melting these rocks is what we used to what form metals. So metals wasn't like originally formed. you know most of them was rocks until you melt them down with fermentation, with fire, to create metals. And it's not like that. Anyway, that's where tonight uh talks will be. I'm gonna end it here right now. I'm gonna end it here. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here right